Hello everyone, welcome back to the Jonny Rocket Show. Today we'll be talking about one of Hollywood's biggest events of the year, and then we got some local sports on what's going on with the team, and then we got some happy news coming down from San Diego. And as you can see here, when I'm my spot where I was last video, and that's because of some renovations happening at my house, and so right now we're in my bedroom. This is these are some of my curtains. So let's get right into it. We got the Oscars coming up, and so we're going to be talking about some nominations and our predictions and who we want to win. And then we got the Sacramento Kings and how they're doing without Fox these last couple of games. And then, like I said before, we got a local story down from San Diego about a local hero. And of course, I forgot last video to do a segment about getting to know me, but don't forget, this episode we will get into and we'll do a little fun activity with it. We've got a lot to cover, so let's blast into it. This is the Jonny Rocket Show. Okay, guys, so launching right into it, we got the Oscars coming up. They are on March 2nd, I believe. And let's talk about some of these nominations we got for Best Picture. Nora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and of course, Wicked. And right here, it's going to be a tough one. I have a couple options myself I'm a little shocked Dune Part 2's in there, but I'm happy it is, because I think it is a good story and everyone should go and watch it, Part 1 and Part 2. And then, of course, love Wicked with the musical. It was great. I actually never saw the Broadway musical of it, so when it came to the theaters, I just couldn't wait to actually see it because I've heard of all the hype around it. And I haven't seen any of the other ones, so that tells you what I watch. And of course, we got Best Actress, Cynthia Erivo, Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon, Emilia Perez, Mikey Madison, Nora, my fault if I mispronounce, and Demi Moore, The Substance, and Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here. Of course, like I just said before, I've only seen Wicked and Dune Part 2, and so I want Cynthia Erivo to win. And of course, we got the Best Actor and we got Adrian Brody, The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet, A Complete Unknown, Colman Domingo, Sing Sing, I have no idea what that movie is about, Ralph Fiennes, Conclave, and Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice. Some interesting choices. And I'm actually a little shocked that Timothy Chalamet is in there for a different movie, not any of the other movies he was in this last year. I will get back to the actors and actresses, but I also want to point out the Best Animated Features. We got Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. And, of course, I got a lot of thoughts about those. I actually almost watched Flow, but I haven't yet. I'll probably get right on that before the Oscars happen. And then Inside Out 2, of course, I've watched that. I'm a big Disney and Pixar fan. But I do think, cause I haven't seen the other two, but I have seen The Wild Robot, and I do think that should win Best Animated Film because that movie brought me to tears multiple times. And then we'll get right back into the Best Supporting Actress. Monica Barbero, Complete Unknown. Ariana Grande, Wicked. Colman Domingo, Felicity Jones, The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini, Conclave, and Zoe Saldana, Emilia Perez. Like I said, I haven't watched Emilia Perez, but my grandma told me it wasn't a bad movie, so she's a good critic of some movies. And I like Zoe Saldana because I watched the Lioness show, so. And then we got Best Supporting Actor, I'm going to botch most of these names. Yura Borzov, Nora, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain, Edward Norton, A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce, The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong, The Apprentice. Oh, Best Costume Design, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, which I've heard great things about, but it's a little weird. And then, of course, Wicked. And what I keep seeing on most of these is Wicked is nominated for a lot of awards, so they're going to be big winners, probably. Best Cinematography, which actually I like that one. The Brutalist, I haven't seen it. Dune Part 2, which I think will have a good chance at winning. Emilia Perez, like I said, I haven't seen. I'm a little shocked just because I thought that was more of a low-budget film, but who knows. Maria and Nosferatu, which I heard there's long scenes in that movie, so I'm a little shocked, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really judge. And then we got Best Visual Effects. Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. That one's actually going to be an interesting one to watch just because a lot of those movies are kind of your more box office movies. I'm a little surprised I haven't seen any Deadpool and Wolverine, but they also are Marvel and they don't really get superhero movies rarely get nominated at the Oscars. So I have seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which, I mean, is crazy that they filmed that the way they do. So I think honestly that will probably win. And you may be asking yourself, when is the Oscar ceremony? I believe I did say at the beginning, but I could be wrong, that it was on March 2nd. Now to this next portion of our show, we're going to be talking about the Sacramento Kings team and how they are going to be doing after this All-Star break. And people like to refer to this season of the NBA as the second half, but unfortunately for the Kings, they only have 27 games left out of an 82-game season. And so they hit the midway point about 5 weeks ago. They have to start. They got to get their engines running if they want any chance in the playoffs. And of course, I'm sure all of you guys have heard of that massive trade. And through that trade, the Kings acquired Zach LaVine in a 3-team deal that sent De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs and Kevin Huerter to the Chicago Bulls. Sacramento made subsequent roster moves to add size, length, and depth. They traded for Jonas Valanciunas, I'm going to botch this too, Jonas Valanciunas, and forward Jake LaRavia before signing free agent point guard Markelle Fultz, the number 1 pick in the 2017 NBA draft, might we add. But with an unprecedented story of blockbuster trades, a little separation in the standings, the Kings and the rest of the Western Conference is up for a wild and unpredictable playoff race over the final 8 weeks of this season. And as of right now, the Kings are 9th in the crowded Western Conference, racing out of the All-Star break. And they have been 4-3 since trading Fox, and 15-9 since Doug Christie took over as the interim coach after they fired Mike Brown, who was fired December 27th. And looking at odds, the Kings are not in a good place. They're 10th best in the West, with a 24% chance of making the playoffs, according to Basketball Reference. They have the second toughest remaining schedule of the NBA. They have 2 games left against the Nuggets, Los Angeles Clippers, and Cleveland Cavaliers. They also played Thunder, Mavericks, Grizzlies, Houston Rockets, Boston Celtics, New York Knicks, and Milwaukee Bucks. But they should be benefiting from a couple practices after the All-Star break. And if they get their offense to be explosive and get on the same page quickly, they could make it, but they don't have much time to spare. And we'll be moving on to a nice little segment, getting to know me a little better. Hey guys, welcome to the Get to Know Me segment, and today we'll be making margaritas for National Margarita Day. And since my YouTube channel hasn't taken off quite yet, I had to get Jose Cuervo. But maybe next year we'll be getting a little more upscale one, but you never know. And before we get started, I want you to meet my dog, Kevin. Come here. Here he is.
Kevin, don't be shy.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin.
We adopted him. We found him on the streets. Back to the drinks. Okay, so it says 1.5 ounces of tequila. So first, actually, we're gonna add some ice. I'm making a lot. Cause, why not? It's National Margarita Day. Okay. I'm gonna move that. Smells like, ooh, essence. I can't complain. Okay, so this is one. But since we're making a bunch, let's add some more. Two, 4. Or 4 drinks, you know. Okay. Now we got some more of the mix. 1, 2. Now 3, 4. That's pretty good. Yeah. Maybe like 1 extra. Just for luck. Okay. We're gonna put this on like that. We got our mixer back here. I'm gonna put the toaster. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh. Woo! Come on. Boom. That, folks, is how you make a margarita. It was close. And that, folks, is how you make a margarita. Let's see how it is. Not bad, not bad. Cheers. Let's get right back into it. Welcome back, guys. Wasn't that fun? I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. And now we're going to be moving on to some local hero news coming out of San Diego. A woman who rescued a toddler from a pool 64 years ago had a reunion with him. Back in 1961, this was reported by the San Diego Sentinel. While this woman was in her 30s, she was attending a party when word started to spread throughout the guests that a toddler was missing. So they all fanned out and started looking for him. And she went into someone's yard, and they had a pool, and he was at the bottom of it. And so she jumped in, pulled him out, and performed both mouth-to-mouth and CPR, instructed by a neighbor that knew how. And though the families kept in touch, it wasn't long before Ben Colwell's family moved out of San Diego, but his siblings luckily set up a reunion between Ben Cowell, who's now 66, and Barbara Ribeira, who's now 94. Ben Colwell said, "Yeah, the only thing that I have ever heard someone say, I think it was my mom, telling me that when you guys found me, there wasn't any bubbles coming up. No. So no one knew how long I had been down there. And when I really think of it, I think hand of God. He made sure that I made it for some reason." What are nice words between them. And thank you for Barbara Ribeiro. And that's a very lucky story. getting to get to know one another. 64 years later, that is just insane that they are both still alive, and they were so lucky that they were able to have a reunion. That's our show for you. Thanks for watching The Jonny Rocket Show. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe for more updates. And I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to stay sharp, aim high, and keep your engines running, because this is The Jonny Rocket Show. I feel like that was actually pretty good.